Hi friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. Today we are here to talk about the second to last video in my series where I highlight books on my shelves that have a specific word in the title. I started with my smallest word that I looked up, which was summer, and I've been doing this since last summer. And here we are at the second to last word that we're going to talk about. And today's word is girl or girls. I have 30 books on my TBR shelf to share with you that have girl or girls in the title. I'm just going to share 3 that I have already read that are out on my read shelves. I really love The Girl Who Came Home by Hazel Gaynor. This was my first Hazel Gaynor book, and this is a novel about the Titanic and a woman who makes it. She lives, she survives. I also really loved The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. This was my first Simone St. James book and has some ghosties in here. And I loved the historical element in this one as well. Really enjoyed The Broken Girls. And then I also have A Girl Called Samson by Amy Harmon, another book and an author that I really, really loved. But then the rest of the books that I'm going to talk about today, there are 30 of them. Or 29, I think. I don't really have them sorted. I will save all my middle grade books to do at the end, but I will do all of my adult reads first, and then I'll put a timestamp for the middle grade ones in case you want to just go straight to them. But all of these are books that are still on my TBR shelf. I don't know very much about them, so we're going to go pretty quickly. We have Lucinda Riley's The Italian Girl. A Tale of Passion and Betrayal takes place in Italy. I don't really know anything about it, and I've read a few Lucinda Riley books, and I really enjoy her. Speaking of Lucinda Riley, we also have The Girl on the Cliff. That has a nice little gothic feel to it. This one takes place in Ireland. 2 Irish families entangled by a tragic past that seems destined to repeat itself. So there's Lucinda Riley. I have The Home for Erring and Outcast Girls by Julie Kibler. I know this one is going to be a historical fiction set in 1903 Texas about a home that rehabilitates women who are in poverty, I believe, possibly taking them off of the streets. And then at the dual timeline, a century later, we follow Kate, a university librarian who's studying the lives of 2 of the women that went to this home. Should be pretty good. I have a couple Christian fiction here. The Girl from the Train by Irma Joubert. This is another historical fiction, World War II. A 6-year-old Gretel is on a train bound for Auschwitz. Jacob Kowalski is planting a bomb on the tracks. Does she get saved? I don't know. This book was sent to me by the author Grocery Girl by Virginia Adele Smith. And this is going to be a romance, I think. Small town romance series. Strong but vulnerable characters and also has emotional growth, quaint backdrops. That sounds like a lot of fun. I think most of these are probably historical fiction. So we have The Paper Girls of Paris by Jordan Taylor. This is a dual timeline, World War II. 16-year-old Alice inherits an apartment in Paris that's been locked for over 70 years. But then we also that's in the more present day timeline, in the past where it's during the Nazi invasion of France. I'm still one who enjoys a World War II historical fiction, so that doesn't bother me. Here's something a little different. Fast Girls by Elise Hooper. This is going to follow the Olympic team, the 1936 Women Olympic team. 3 women arrive in Nazi Germany from the US to compete in the Summer Olympics under Adolf Hitler's watchful eye. Each traveled a different road to arrive at this phenomenal moment. Now they're prepared to show the world what fast girls can do. Sounds pretty cool. Different take on a World War II story. I have a memoir, nonfiction, The Girl from the Metropole Hotel by Ludmila Petrushevskaya. Growing up in communist Russia. That should be interesting little memoir. It's translated from Russian. That would be a nice quick little read. The Flight Girls by Noelle Salazar. Another World War II following some women Air Force pilots, 1941. A mystery, Girl Waits with Gun by Amy Stewart. I don't think this has very great ratings, but I'm intrigued by it anyways. This one's going to follow Constance and her sisters who suffer a run-in with a ruthless, powerful crook. Constance leaves her quiet country life to team up with the local sheriff and exact justice. Little mystery there. I think this one's technically YA, Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hesse. I have a couple books by her now on my shelves, and I haven't read any of them. So it's going to be 1943, so Nazi Germany, Amsterdam in 1943, another World War II. Another memoir is The Girl with 7 Names, and Hyunseo Lee. And this is about her escape from North Korea. That should be pretty harrowing. Serena Burdick wrote The Girl with No Names. This one is 1910s. Two sisters who grew up in New York City. Even as wealthy young women, their freedoms come with limits. But when the sisters discover a shocking secret about their father, Luella, the brazen older sister, becomes emboldened to do as she pleases. Her rebellion comes with consequences, and one morning, Luella is mysteriously gone. Bum, bum, bum. I like a book with sisters in it. I would love to hear if you've read any of these and which ones I should move up on my TBR. Hazel Gaynor, again, she wrote The Girl Who Came Home that I already talked about, but this one is called The Girl from the Savoy. And this one is a 1920s London historical fiction. So glittering, what's that, golden age? The jazz age, right? Amid cocktails and jazz, two women with very different pasts try to forget the devastation of the Great War to forge life in a new city where those who dare to dream can have it all. This is a heavy book. The Indigo Girl by Natasha Boyd. This one's on my recommendations cart for this year. 1739. So we're going back a little bit more older. Eliza, 16 years old, when her father leaves her in charge of their family's 3 plantations in South Carolina, and then proceeds to bleed the estates dry in pursuit of his military ambitions. Her mother wants nothing more than for their South Carolina endeavor to fail so they can go back to England. Her family is in danger of losing everything. Interesting. Very different time period. I have The Girls in the Stilt House by Kelly Mustian. Beautiful and harrowing tale of 2 young women cast in an unlikely partnership through murder. Bum, bum, bum. This has one of those buttery soft covers. I love it. A Christmas book exchange book, The Lost Girls of Devon by Barbara O'Neill, who wrote When We Believed in Mermaids, which I also have on my book exchange card. A Missing Woman, A Dead Girl, A Village of Secrets. Should be good. And I have this Girls of Ennismore, The Girls of Ennismore by Patricia Falvey. Looks like a upstairs downstairs situation. Set in Ireland during the turbulent early 20th century, Patricia's sweeping novel explores an unlikely friendship between 2 girls of vastly different backgrounds as each tries to overcome the barriers set by class and birthright. We have Pam Jenoff, The Lost Girls of Paris. A while ago, I unhauled most of her books, but this is one that I kept because I've heard good things. I think someone in a train station or an airport finds an abandoned suitcase where she discovers a dozen photographs, each of a different woman. In a moment of impulse, she takes the photographs and quickly leaves the station. So we're in 1946 Manhattan. Who are these pictures? Who are these women? What's going to happen? I don't know. I haven't read it. And then the final adult book I have is Bloomsbury Girls by Natalie Jenner. This is clearly a book of the month book. A compelling and heartwarming story of post-war London, a century-old bookstore, and 3 women determined to find their way in a changing world. I love that. That sounds really good. The last few that I have here are all middle grade books. So we have A Girl of the Limberlost. This was also on my Lost list because obviously Lost is in the title as well. So was a couple of the other ones. They were in other videos. But this is a classic that I have heard such good things about. So I picked that up last summer, I believe. Another memoir or nonfiction, March Forward Girl, is by Melba Pattillo Beals. She also wrote Warriors Don't Cry. Oh my gosh. And that one was so good about the Little Rock Nine. Melba Pattillo Beals is one of the Little Rock Nine, one of the 9 Black students who went to school when it was first desegregated and faced unbelievable horrors. But long before she was one of the Little Rock Nine, Melba Pattillo Beals was a warrior. What makes one little girl stand up against the injustice around her? This is documentation of her early journey, an ardent and profound childhood memoir of growing up in the Jim Crow South. So I would love to read more about her life because I really loved Warriors Don't Cry. Oh, such a powerful read. Linda Sue Park is a middle grade author that I have read and really loved. This is Seesaw Girl. I should add this to my June TBR because it's so little. It'd be perfect for the Amazing Readathon, even though I don't have to submit points, but I would really love to read this. This takes place in 17th century Korea, and we follow a young girl named Jade, expected to spend her time learning to sew, embroider, do the laundry, etc. She accepts her destiny and yet is endlessly curious. Just once she would like to experience the adventures boys can have. I'm wondering if she's gonna dress up like a boy and go on an adventure. It's a short little book. We have The Gilded Girl by Alyssa Coleman. This is one that I got from the Strand in New York City as a blind date with a book. So I'm pretty sure it takes place in New York City. It has some magic. Miss Posterity's Academy for Practical Magic is the best kindling school in New York City. And then we have kind of a wealthy girl and a maid. It reminds me of A Little Princess. So it looks adorable. I've got Blackbird Girls by Anne Blankman. This is a story of Chernobyl. And Anne Blankman is an author that I would really like to read. So yeah, this is one that's pretty high on my radar. The Girl Who Speaks Bear by Sophie Anderson. I have not had the greatest luck with Sophie Anderson, and I think I've unhauled the other books by her that I've read, but I'm still interested in this one. So I'm going to keep it on my shelves. It's about a 12-year-old girl never feeling at home in her small village. She was discovered in a bear cave as a baby, and the other children mock her for unusual size and strength. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with that story, but I'm willing to give Sophie Anderson another go with that one. I have read a couple other Emma Carroll books. This one is The Girl Who Walked on Air. This is the sensational story of Louis Reynolds, whose dream is to be a circus showstopper. Her tightrope talents put the finest performers to shame, yet the path to fame is a rocky one. What kind of adventures is she going to go on, proving herself as a tightrope walker? I do not have that kind of balance. This book I bought when I was with my friends at the Children's Museum in Kansas City. This is The Girl Who Could Silence the Wind by Meg Medina. Everyone in the village of Tres Montes thinks Sonia Ocampo is blessed. A combination of fantasy folklore and traditional Latin American reality. I'm excited to read another book by her. And finally, I have The Lost Girl by Anne Ursu. This one's going to follow twins who don't always want to do everything together anymore. Fifth grade arrives, it's decided that Iris and Lark should finally be split up into different classrooms, and something breaks in them both. Iris is no longer confident, and Lark retreats into herself as she deals with challenges at school. And at the same time, something strange is happening in the city around them. The power of fantasy, the limits of love, and the struggles inherent in growing up. So I'm excited to read that one as well. I just really love doing this series because it highlights books on my shelves that I might have forgotten about or haven't looked at or thought about in a while. And I get really excited to read them. So those are the 30-ish books that have the word girl in the title. That means I have another word that is coming that I have more than 30. What? I need to read some books. I read so many, but I still have so many on my shelves. But I would love to hear if you are excited about any of these, if you're adding any to your list, or if you have read them and you didn't really care for them, or if you have another book with the word girl in the title that I didn't talk about today. I would love to know that as well. Let's chat all things girl books down in the comments below, or anything else. I love chatting with you down there. And if you made it to the end of this video and you don't really have anything else to say, put a little girl emoji, whatever that means to you. We got the dancing girl, the running girl, the girl with her hands like this. Pick any of the girl emojis and put it in the comments just to let me know that you were here watching. I really appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to hang out with me. And I'm very excited that we just have one more in this series and then we can wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you in another video very soon. Bye.